The Nigerian government has repeatedly claimed Boko Haram has been defeated in the country. These camps for internally displaced persons are evidence that simply isn't true. Many people have been living here for 5 years. Analysts say the military is trying its best, but much more needs to be done.
Some of the challenges that is being faced by the Nigerian military, some of them are really beyond their control. Nigerian military is still being held back based on what the Nigerian military leaders did in the 80s and the 90s. As you are aware, we had a difficult time trying to acquire some military hardware from the US based on the human rights records of the Sani Abacha regime and even this Buhari when he was the head of state. And so some of those things impacted the Nigerian military ability to acquire the necessary hardware they needed to be able to have a formidable front against Boko Haram. It's only recently that those doors is beginning to open up and they're able to acquire some of the weapons that they do need to confront Boko Haram. Yeah, of course, they could have stayed up more.
There are stark reminders, even here in Nigeria's capital Abuja, that Muhammadu Buhari's government has faced security challenges. The people in these camps were forced to flee their homes as a result of Boko Haram militants. Now, many of them don't care who wins this election. They've been here for years, and they simply want the Nigerian authorities to ensure they can return home safely.
We need it to Boko Haram to help us to pursue the Boko Haram to go back our home. The Boko Haram is still there for our village now. The Muhammad Buhari, they tried to bring peace for us.
We are hoping for the change because we are tired to sit down here. We want to return back to our places. I'm thinking that if somebody pass, we want to go to our places. He can do more than that one.
But it's not just Boko Haram presenting a challenge in this election. The Islamic movement in Nigeria is continuing daily protests in Abuja after its leader, Sheikh El-Zakzaky, was detained alongside his wife in 2015. There's no official order on who members should vote for, but many want Buhari out.
Officially, this movement does not call on anybody to vote for anybody. Okay, but there are sympathizers of the movement, there are followers of the movement that were politicians. They engage in politics, and you don't expect them to vote for somebody who kills their siblings. And there are a lot of sympathizers. Like me, I'm from an extended family. I have a lot of family members, and I'm a follower of Sheikh Zazaki. And I don't think if anybody, any friend of mine, being Christian or Muslim or whatever faith he has, will go and vote for Buhari due to what Buhari did to me.
They believe if the president's main challenger, Atiku Abubakar, comes to power, there's much more chance that the sheikh will be released.
Yeah, if really Atiku, we have seen his letter, the letter he wrote to international community, calling on them to come and intervene on this right violation of the sheikh by the Buhari-led administration. So hopefully, if somebody will come out and write to the international community, if at all he's not doing for political, whatever he's doing he's tried for saying out against injustice. So hopefully, anybody that has human sympathy in his mind, he will call for the release of the sheikh.
While the government faces these challenges on its doorstep, there's unrest in other parts of Nigeria. Militants in the Niger Delta could take advantage of any political instability following the elections, after a new group came to prominence at the start of the year. While in the Central Belt, the deadliest conflict in the country, the clashes between farmers and Fulani herdsmen, continue to be a cause for concern.
In 2019, we cannot have people, driving their cattle from Borno State to Benue State or to Enugu State. If they do that, they will be on a collision course with the farmers, because some of the cattle routes that they used to use in the past, a lot of all those places have been built up. We have to find a way where we can reorientate these farmers, these pastors, so that they can begin to look for modern ways of rearing their cattle, maybe through ranching, or we can do semi-ranching and what they call grazing reserves, where the state governments will have to volunteer a large expanse of land where they can grass and have them feed their cattle and provide access to water and stuff like that. But we cannot continue this migratory movement of cattle from the north to the south and expect not to have problems.
There is no simple fix for the issues Nigeria faces. No matter who wins the election, there is a lot of work to be done so that everyone in this country can feel safe and secure. Faith Orr, Arise News.